Hello, members of Rescue 9 of EmergeNYC FDNY Guild. This is Captain White, and I am the officer on Rescue 9. And this is just going to be a overview of the equipment in which we use on Rescue 9 right now on a daily basis that is accessible to us. There are 21 compartments. I have all the compartments doors that are functional open. There's going to be 3 compartments that are non-functional that do not open, so that leaves us with 19 functioning compartment doors which open. Most are for aesthetics at this point in time, but with the equipment that is on Rescue 9, the equipment of the Halligan, the K-12 saw, the water can, and a CO2 can, and there's also a nozzle on this rig, an extra nozzle. So without further ado, and not to really become long-winded and on my soapbox, I'm going to the rig, and we're going to go over the boxes and what's in those boxes. The rig's got the right side, you got your left side of the rig. Obviously the driver, or otherwise known as the chauffeur, he's going to be the operator, the driver of the rig. You got the officer in the officer seat, which is going to be your right front seat. Okay. If you try to get in with your officer right now, I have found, I've tried it several times, he does enter the rig, but the view is in the driver's view. You can see him sitting there in the officer seat, looking good, as I should, but you are in the driver's seat, so we won't do that. The first set, a couple of boxes. So the boxes, you have some long, tall boxes. You have some long boxes, which are the horizontal boxes, and then you have your vertical boxes. Your boxes, your tall boxes, and your long boxes, horizontal and vertical. I've numbered them, or at least I attempt to identify them as R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Okay, the 2 boxes up here, these are universal boxes that can be accessed from both sides of the rig, and it's access the backboard and the litter stokes, the litter baskets on there. The bottom box, as you can see through to the other side. It's empty, so obviously it would hold some sort of equipment. So we're going to close those up right now. And one of the non-functional boxes up here on the front cab area. Okay, R1 contains medical supplies, extra oxygen tanks, and also an O2 bottle for medical purposes. Also too, it's gray, but the water can, go to first person view, you can see the water can right here where my cursor is going. Maybe the devs can make this more identifiable, making it a chrome or a silver color to at least make it readily available. You would lose that in a smoky fire if you put it down. That's if you put it down. Okay, so we're going to close this up. That's going to be R1. R2 is filled with tools, the tools that we use. You do have some fire tape or some caution tape for sectioning off areas. You have some, looks like some pikes and picks there. You got a sledgehammer, you got some additional tools. You got an axe and Halligan bar, G to equip, X to return. You have some cones, and then you have reflectorized triangles also too. This is going to be in your R2 box. Your R3 box on the right side of the rig, you've got a chainsaw, you've got it looks like a K-12 underneath, you have a K-12 up on top. You have 2 K-12s in here. It looks like that's a K-12. That looks like a K-12, looks like some oil, and you've got a shop vac. You do not access G. Coming up here to this and pressing G will not equip a K-12. But so it's aesthetics on this, on the number 3 right box. Number 4 box is your water rescue type gear. You have the water rescue, which Rescue 9 members would perform a water rescue or any kind of major incident. Any major fire rescue is going to respond. Any 1075 all hands rescue is going to respond to that incident. They're a search and rescue type or oriented company. They're going to assist firefighters, whether it be engine or truck, as needed. And they're also going to do some specialized operations based on their training. They are specialized units, and they're dispatched to scenes of large fires or other emergency situations where their experience, knowledge, skill, and specialized equipment are needed to assist the other companies. Not saying that they won't pick up a line, but they do some other things. They do the rappelling, they do collapses, they go into tanks, they respond to the subway incidences and such. So very specialized group. There's only 5 of them in the 5 boroughs, 1 through 5. And you have multiple squad units, which also are specialized trained units under the SOC command. So anyway, continuing, this is going to be for water rescue. Okay, Right 5 R5's got another medical canister here of O2. It's got some equipment. It's got the nozzle on R5. It's got some EMT bag, got some oil, and got a battery. Okay. Also, too, you got these 2 lower boxes here underneath the main compartments. They're steel graded, Barden steel. They're rectangular. They're empty. They continue through. You can access these 2 boxes down here from left or right side of the rig. On the rear of the rig, you have your right large or right tall compartment. It's got it's filled with K-12s. In my opinion, that's where the K-12 should be. That's how we should access a K-12. But right now, it's aesthetics. You have 2 small jockey boxes or 2 small boxes. It looks like 2 long boxes. It's for extra gear and equipment. I wouldn't doubt with their specialized training, there's not lumber and wood for cribbing and bridging and supporting on operations. So that's more than likely what's going to be going these long box. They do look like maybe they're just, they got to get their shoring equipment from somewhere. But anyway, extra equipment. Okay. The right side tall box is filled with some turnout gear and a self-contained breathing apparatus, Scott pack. Okay, that's that one. This is where the rest of the crew would go in the back. Okay, shelves and storage compartments for gear. There's also the bench where they'll sit and ride, and they can have communication with the guys up front, the captain, the driver up front. On the left side of the rig, starting from the front, and your left one, obviously these 2 boxes are your backboard and Stokes doors. You have your underneath carriage containers, and now we go into your left one box. Left one box looks like it's filled with generators, oil, and fuel. So it's going to have equipment, additional equipment, generators, further operations. The left 2 box, another generator, fuel equipment. Looks like you got some emergency type material or equipment or some sort of. I would say those orange are straps, or there's something that's integral to the Jaws for Life and the spreader for extrication, more advanced extrication type operations, where a Halligan bar and or K-12 is not enough, doesn't pack enough punch. So these are your extrication type tools in this box. There. On your L3, you got a floor jack and equipment, boxed equipment and containers and boxes. L4 is where you're going to get this is where you are going to retrieve your Halligan from. Correction. Sorry about that. Your K-12. You're going to retrieve your K-12 from the L4 box on the rig, and it's got some additional equipment. It does have a chainsaw in there. That chainsaw, I believe that's a chainsaw. Yes, that's going to be a chainsaw, and you got an EMT bag and some additional equipment. This squad also is going to be carries hazmat type equipment. It's not the hazmat unit, but they're also they're cross-trained in that. These guys are also cross-trained in hazmat. It's also going to have radioactive type gear. So they got a lot of specialized gear on this rig that's not being really utilized in the game at this point in time. Maybe someday. So on your last and final box, this box here down the bottom with the vents does not open. It's not operational. This last operational box, it's going to be L5 on the rig. It's going to have your CO2 bottle, and it's going to have a bunch of different pieces of equipment that are in pieces of equipment that are in box. Behind that, I'm going to equip my CO2. You have got a Delta miter saw. Got a miter saw. So obviously, some of these compartments, like I was saying, that maybe these underneath, you got a saw in here, so you're gonna be cutting wood. That's what that's going to be for. So now I can't put back my. Can I put it back? There it goes. I've got it back. I just dropped it. Anyway, clumsy me. So that's it. That's what you got. Right now you saw all the compartments open. Hopefully this helps a little bit. Hopefully it reminds you a little bit on that. It's a reference point. Working on the rig. Hopefully members of R-9, when we are playing in right now solo games, you are simulating Rescue 9 members helping out, whether it be venting a roof or doing a primary search, or even simulating an officer down, or not officer down, but a firefighter down or a civilian down, where we're going to go in while while the fire is still going on. So again, Captain White, this is it. The next my next video, if this works and everybody likes it, or I get good review on it or whatever, you want to see more, I'll take Rescue 9 out and we'll set up where we're using the K-12 on a venting, horizontal and vertical venting of a building. Okay, thank you very much. Signing off, and I'll see you back in quarters.